Good day, everyone. Welcome to ChemTube. And in today's class, we'll be looking at chemical combination. And under chemical combination, we'll be paying attention to electrovalent bonding. Now, what is electrovalent bonding? Electrovalent bonding involves the transfer of electron from a metal to a non-metal. Now, we call the metal the electron donor, and we call the non-metal the electron acceptor. So electron or ionic bonding involves the transfer, or is a type of bonding that involves the transfer of electron from a metal to a non-metal. So usually the metal donates the electron while the non-metal receives the electron. So so you can see, so when you have a metallic element binding with a non-metallic element, the compound formed is called the ionic compound. So in that case, the metal donates the electron and the non-metal receives the electron. So most of the time, students find it difficult to identify metallic elements and non-metallic elements. Okay, so and they find it very difficult to identify if, for example, you're given a compound. They find it difficult to identify if the compound has an ionic bond or a covalent bond, or if you're given two atoms, for example, two elements. So they find it difficult to tell if the bonds that will be formed between the two elements is ionic or covalent or dative. So in this place, I'm going to help you to understand better, if the bonds that will be formed between two elements is ionic and how to differentiate it from covalent bonding. So now look at this. So we have said here, we have laid the foundation, and we say that ionic bonding is between the metallic elements and non-metallic elements. So how do we know metals and how do we know non-metals? So if you look here, this is the periodic table. Okay, so here we have the periodic table. So now in the periodic table, we have the group 1 to 3. Okay, they are called metals. Okay, with the exception of hydrogen. Hydrogen is a gas, although it is in group 1, but it's still a gas. So group 1 to group 3 are metals. Now the group 4 elements, are semi-metals. Now, why the elements from group 5 to group 8, they are non-metals. But you should take note that the group 8 elements are called the noble gases. They are inert. Okay, they don't react. They have an octet structure. Now, so the essence of chemical combination, okay, is for an atom to have what we call an octet structure. Okay, for an atom to have an octet structure like the elements in this group, in the group 8. Okay, so here you have it. So you now have your metal. So when you have for example, you have a compound, for example, you have sodium chloride. You have sodium chloride, and you are asked what type of bond is found in sodium chloride, because we have sodium, which is a metal, okay, and we have chlorine, which is a non-metal. Okay, so we tend to say that, so since it's between a metal and a non-metal, the bonding between them is ionic, and the compound is an ionic or electrovalent compound. So let's look at how we form ionic bonds. Okay, let's take an example. For example, let's look at formation of sodium chloride. Okay, now, sodium chloride is between sodium and chlorine. Okay, sodium configuration is 281, and the configuration of chlorine is 287. Okay, now like I said, now you ask yourself, the whole essence of chemical combination is for the atom to have an octet structure, okay, or duplex structure. And an octet structure meaning that the number of electrons in the atom shell will be 8. When an atom have an electron in the atom shell of 8, we say that the element is now stable. Now, if you look at sodium, it has 1. Okay, and if you look at chlorine, it has 7 in their atom shell respectively. So sodium is a metal; it donates electron. So if it donates this one, okay, it's going to have a configuration of 2,8. And if chlorine receives that one, the configuration becomes 2,8,8. Okay, now let's look at how it is done. So let's draw the configuration of sodium. So I'm going to just use okay, let me just draw the full configuration we have. okay, I'm going to just use the outermost shell, and then here also chlorine has 7 in the outermost shell. So we have 1, 2, we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this is sodium and this is chlorine. So now what happens? Now sodium would give chlorine 1. Okay, sodium would give chlorine 1. And when sodium gives chlorine 1, okay, sodium will now have a configuration of Na, okay, plus. It is positive because it has lost 1 electron. So it becomes 2, 8, okay? And chlorine receives and then becomes 2, 8, 8. And then the shell structure will look at something like this. So you have, okay, let me draw the full structure of sodium. So you have 2, the first shell is 2, and the second shell is 8. So we have 8. So we have 8 electrons in the outermost shell. And then chlorine would now have in its outermost shell, it will now have an electron of 8, having what we call an octet structure. So both of them now possess an octet structure. So now to write the formula of the compound, you have sodium Na plus and then 1 chlorine Cl minus to give you what we call NaCl. So that becomes the formula of the compound. So that is the ionic bonding between sodium chlorine. Let's go to another example. Now let's look at bonding or bonding between sodium again, and let's use sodium and oxygen. Okay. Now remember, sodium configuration is 2, 8, 1, and oxygen has a configuration of 2, 6. Okay, meaning that oxygen needs 2 more electrons for it to be complete. Okay, and sodium can give out only 1. Now in this case, sodium tends to have issues here. So oxygen needs 2. Okay, oxygen needs 2 electrons for it to have an octet structure, but sodium can give out 1. So let's draw their configuration. So sodium, in the valence shell you have 1 electron, and then oxygen in the valence shell you have 6. Okay, so let's draw out the 6 electrons. You have 6 electrons, so it needs 2. Okay, but sodium can give only 1. So what happened here? So when sodium gives out this 1 electron, okay, so and chlorine receives 1, now another atom or another sodium element will come. We have another sodium element that would come, making it 2 sodium, and then they would donate their electron both to what? To oxygen. So in the bonding or ionic bonding between sodium and oxygen, so 2 sodium atoms are involved. Okay, so we are going to now have something in this form. So the structure will now look like something like this. So we have 2 sodium, Na. Okay, you have 2, and then you have 8. Okay, we have 2 of these. Okay, we have 2 of these. Okay, 2, 8. So Na plus and Na plus, and then binding with oxygen. Okay, oxygen now having we have 1 oxygen. So oxygen have an octet structure because it has received 2 electrons from each of the sodium. So oxygen is become O2 minus. So we have O2 minus with the configuration of 2, 8. So both of them now have this is 2, 8, and this is 2, 8. So the 3 of them, they have an octet structure. So and then the formula becomes we have, because we use 2 atoms of sodium plus oxygen, O2 minus, we are going to have Na2 and O. So these 2 reflects the number of sodium atom that was used. So that becomes the what? the formula. Assuming we use 3 sodium, for example, between let's say sodium and nitrogen, so we need to use 3 sodium. Assuming 3 sodium was used, now it becomes Na3N. Do you understand? So that is how ionic bonding is formed. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. Now if you want me to actually give more examples, okay, I'll be putting more examples on the link so that you would understand better ionic bonding. So do have a nice day. Bye.